Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to another episode of Pimp My...
So you wanna be a player, but you weren't too smart. You gotta hit Melt up to get a pimp powder.
On today's episode, we are visiting the Canines Guild with CrazyAss S&N server 719, right? 719, is that right? God, that's an old server for such a new account. This account is about a year and a half old, and CrazyAss contacted me and says, Melt, I'm on the verge of tier 9. I need to know what to do. Of course, you know, a lot of people that watch this channel have plenty of ideas on what you would do going into tier 9, just getting out of tier 7, going into tier 9. So we're going to talk about that and what to do with the current season 8 Galactic Battle Medal, as well as how to be active in the peak contest. So what do you need to do now if you hit tier 9 and you want to participate in peak contest? So let's look at this real quick. So he does have Gaia. So he has tier 9 Gaia. Just got it. He can also get infantry and airship, but let's check his basic research. Make sure that he has the right research all the way up. So it looks like he has most of the walkers, some of the infantry, missing one walker there, but it looks like he has almost, he has the infantry mastery here, so he has more infantry than he does walker research. So he's still a bit lost, but it looks like he does want to go tier 9. Now remember, you can use tier 9 walkers with Stella, right? Because they're walker infantry subtypes, but the infantry research for basic research won't work on the tier 9 walkers, even though Stella can use them. You only get the bonuses from the basic research for walkers to apply to the advanced research or advanced troops walkers. Remember, Gaia's are walkers. So first thing is you got to get that research caught up. You do not want to get caught in a real PvP fight on your server with real troops at stake, or in Galactic Battle without all your research done, because it's a significant difference. Once you get Mastery 10, then you should start using them for real PvP against people equal or bigger than you, but do not get in a fight with anyone smaller than you if you don't have these researches maxed out right here. Infantry Mastery or Walker Mastery. So let's start there. We're probably going to ignore airships. But when I was talking to CrazyAss, he said, my main issue is chess pieces. Chess pieces have always been a problem. But I did look, he does already have the Dawn Hall, which is the best PvP hall in the game by like 40%. It's massive. So he has that in the right direction, right? He's going there. But infantry chess piece, walker chess piece. So he does have a really nice shadow here. He has Nixop pants for dodge, which are okay. Normally on infantry, we like to go fearless in the pants for the damage reduction. But you don't need that for tier 9 necessarily, but great for the peak contest. And then we get our dodge from the Void chess piece right here. So she's got a bit of like almost like a walker build in a sense. You know, if you wanted to go walker dodge, I don't know. I don't like this setup, but it's okay. The stats are great. It's level 30 gear, so it's like it's almost hard to not wear it. But I would switch over to the Void chess piece. And well, if you're going to be using Gaia, the tier 9 walker, then no, that wouldn't work, right? Actually, that would be the better choice there, and then get your dodge from the pants. But when you do that, you lose a lot of damage reduction and damage from Magiwell. So kind of a mix-up there. As far as heads are concerned, Devastation's great for tier 9. But if you're going to be doing peak contest, you're going to need that Valkyrie for the damage from the tear space from tier 12 if you go to senior troops, which I recommend. And you got double Titans, and the Titans are okay. So not bad at all. So you're set there. I wouldn't change that. I would make sure, yeah, Sagittarius, Gemini is good because that's what Stella needs to land hits, especially with peak contest tear space, but it's also good with the tier 9 troops. So overall, good solid build. Now, this is a 96,000 Stella, a 26,000 Bullet, a 10,000 Rogers, a 30,000 Full Metal, and a 26,000 Hoodoo. So okay, first off, we're going to combine some of these commanders. We don't need a 26,000 Hoodoo to run a pocket Hoodoo. That's the only reason you put any more than 1,000 leadership in Hoodoo is if you want to stack like 3 or 4 advanced troops on him and try to catch somebody who's marching you using a big death rattle with that pocket Hoodoo utility style. That's all Hoodoo's good for, in my opinion. Putting 26,000 leadership in him is just wasted leadership. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to dump this Hoodoo. The question is why and where? Well, we don't need him. We need peak contest. So if Stella's going to stay our main, or Gilly. I think Stella's going to be our main for now. He's considering Gilly. How close are we to Gilly? Gilly. There she is. I bet we're really close. Okay, so Gilly is sitting at 420 out of 480. Now, I love Gilly as a main with tier 12. But I don't hate Stella as a main with tier 9. She's quite good. Just like Golem and Stella were when tier 9 came out. They were really good. So server-wide, server-based PvP, Stella's going to be great. Peak contest, Gilly's going to be better. But if you can establish Full Metal and Rogers as good bases for your peak contest ambitions, you really don't need that great of a main commander because Rogers can do a lot of the heavy lifting. Stella would be not as good as Gilly, but Stella's going to be better for server-side PvP and Galactic Battle PvP until you get higher tier, which could be years away. So I'm going to go ahead and say let's stay on board with Stella. Our skills are already there. Gilly's aren't even close. But we need to dump this Hoodoo. Now, we need at least, 30,000 Full Metal is a good place to start. But we need a lot more leadership in Rogers. And you can tell Rogers only has 60 medals. See that right there? 60 medals. So it's hard to get him to S-Class. He's like a $400 commander to get into S-Class. Hold on. Founders Club mug break. Tastes a little bit better when there's an Arc of War theme on it. Okay, and Rogers gear is not great. You want a little damage on Rogers so you don't get destroyed by Virgo, Aries, or Stellas. So Titan is best. Wild Rose is okay. Apocalyptor's okay, but Skywalker's bad because it doesn't have enough attack. The crit damage isn't going to be doing a lot for us. Definitely want to dump that and get something that hits a little bit harder. Roger still has to kill his opponent. He has to, still has to win the match. He can't just tank the whole thing like a turtle. Armor of the Tyrant is just fine, very nice. And you might end up putting your Shadow on him eventually, but overall, this is good. You need another Valkyrie, though, because Rogers wants this Valkyrie as well. He needs that for the Terror Space damage in your peak contest. So, do we have level 50? No, you have to have at least level 50 defensive stance to trigger it in 4 triggers. So, immediately get this to 50. Try to get it to 60. It's actually worth it. It's one of the few skills that is definitely worth getting to 60. So, let's turn that off. So what else? Okay, so we can't absorb a bunch of leadership into Rogers, but a 10,000 Rogers is okay. I really would like to put... So the next time we do an add leadership event, just take magazines and add them straight to Rogers. Get him to 30 to 50,000. You don't lose that much magazines when you don't pump commanders and absorb. It's only like 5 or 10% cheaper to pump commanders and then absorb them and then re-release them later. So you can add magazines straight during an add magazine buy one get one magazine leadership event just fine. So that's what you want to do with your Rogers. As far as this Hoodoo's concerned, we're going to dump him, but I hate putting him into Full Metal. All that's going to do is let us take down bigger Rogers. But our Stella, our main, is so low, 96,000. So let's take a look at what we have to absorb. So a lot of commanders here could be absorbed, and Luna, it looks like you have a lot of commanders at 2,900, 2,800, 2,700. You only get your commanders that high when it's an add leadership event anyway, so always take the next commander to 3,600 and absorb. Don't bring them all up evenly. Just grab Axe, take them to 3,600, absorb. Grab Mary, take it to 3,600, absorb. Don't take them up halfway because, they're just sitting here dead. You could have had another 7,000 leadership you were already using. So let's take this Hoodoo and decide what to do with him. So here's my school of thought. It's always best to have one main commander. I've always said that. And it's because the harder you can hit somebody in PvP, the more you can steal resources, the harder you can massacre them. But also, it's the commander that you're going to use your biggest army with. So having all of your leadership tied into one commander used to be the way to go. And only now, since the peak contest is relevant, do you need to spread that leadership out to Full Metal and Rogers. And I'd like to see Full Metal and Rogers both at 50,000, 30 to 50,000 each. Full Metal's already there. So I'm not going to put absorb Hoodoo's leadership into Full Metal and make him 50k. I don't want a 96,000 leadership commander and a 50,000 leadership commander. I would rather have a bigger main commander, which is Stella right now, and then I'll add Rogers magazines up to 30,000 when the time comes. So with 30,000 Rogers, 30,000 Full Metal with 120,000 Stella, yeah, that makes sense. One commander and then the other two add up to 50% of her leadership. That's my logic there. So let's go ahead and take this Full Metal or Hoodoo out of rotation. Now, of course, I have another issue, Bullet. Bullet is a great commander in his own right for server-side PvP, but it's only when you really want to kill some tier 12, and frankly, lately, killing a handful of tier 12, 10 or less, 20 or less, doesn't really matter because everyone has these peak crystals, energy crystals, to heal with your Paraloper, right? So not a lot of people are quantizing their Paraloper, burning through all their crystals, so they're usually free healing their tier 10 or tier 12 or higher advanced tier troops. But also in Galactic Battle, Bullet Rangers now give points. Is it a tenth of a point or a quarter of a point? I forget what it is, but it gives points, so you can't just trade Rangers for high tier anymore without giving up points for your enemy team. So Bullet has kind of lost his use in Galactic Battle. He's kind of lost his use in server side, so we need to dump him as well. So we're going to go ahead and take him into Stella as well. And then all the magazines moving forward, instead of pumping up our S commanders that are ready to absorb, I want them to go to Rogers. We want to get Rogers to 60% defensive stance, level 60 defensive stance. We want to leave our full metal at 30,000, and then all the leadership we have available once those other S commanders are absorbable. What we'll do with them is probably put them on our main. It's nice to have a big main to cut through people, even though Stella's not a great answer to Rogers and full metal, but I guess we'll see what develops over the next month or two. But right now, we pumped our Stella to 150,000. We've got a pure damage build. If you're going to be using her a lot in peak contests, you're going to want to throw on some Fearless Pants and the Void chest piece. Even though they're not leveled up as high as your Shadow or your Nixaw, that's just the way you want to do it nowadays. This build is okay to get started, but if you really want to win more battles in peak contests, that's what you got to do. And as far as our full metal build is concerned, this is great. Perfect. A little bit of dodge is great on full metal. Leo Taurus is best. Right now you're doing just Taurus. Leo hits much harder, especially in advanced tier, so you probably want to switch over to advanced tier. And you're using the 5-piece Cepheus, which, or Cassiopeia, excuse me, which, it seems like great because the stats are high on it. It has bonus damage reduction, makes you a little more tanky. But the fact is that this just gives you Tina's immunity skill, and it really doesn't have a role to play unless you're super high tier. You need 2 guaranteed hit skills on full metal because your opponents are going to be dodging, and guaranteed hits let you do that tear space. So I did this on my full metal. That's the mistake I made. It's time you get rid of that 5-piece. And remember, those gems aren't hard to get. So go ahead and get rid of that. Go back to Taurus. I'll let you do that on your own. That just takes a lot of time. So CrazyAss, and if you want to debate that, I'm happy to hear you. But CrazyAss, that is definitely the best way to go about it. You need to land hits on full metal to kill Rogers, and Rogers will start to dodge as you get higher into peak contests. I'm trying to activate a 5th commander. There's Black. Hey, that's me. Hey, I need to grow a beard, huh? I got a gray hair now. Okay, wait, that's a tangent. How's Stella doing? Set. All right, so let's take our new Stella out for a spin and see how many advanced troops we have, and then we'll do a release and we'll close this video off. So, okay, a lot of tier 7 here. What do we got? Stella, thank you. Ooh, man, we need a lot of advanced troops. That's a lot of research, or a lot of resources. So, you're going to have to rely on your big players for that. Oh, also, shout out to Kark. Great work on the guild. CrazyAss was saying if it wasn't for you, all these capitals wouldn't be held together so well. So, I guess they have an alliance with Hit, and Kark's a big deal about it, or he helps with that quite a bit. Okay, anyway, back to the ace here. What are we doing? Let's pick a fight. I'm trying to just burn through it like I do normally. 40,000. So he has 10 million leadership more than us. Let's go. Stella versus Stella. Here we go. We only have 2 slots of advance, though. Oh, it's not great. We got Walker versus his infantry. This is where Hoodoo would have shined. Oh, God, we got blasted. Let's try. Okay, Blader. This might be bad. Oh, wait, this is like a no contest. We're going to burn right through him. Oh, tier 8. Oh, we're going to blast this guy. Sorry, Sloany Knock. You're going down. And, nope, no Wings of Eternity. That would have been a one-shot. Oh, it is a one-shot. There we go. Okay. What am I talking about? All right, so we got to win. Sloany Knock. Thank you very much. So, all right, that's our new Stella. We need a bunch more advanced tier, so start farming those food and parts tiles and get to it and upgrade that research. So, don't worry about tier 10. Focus on Bridge 22. You got a long ways to go there, but you're going to be using your food and parts to build troops and research. All the electricity, gas, and cash, you can use that to start building up your bridge. You want to get to Bridge 22, unlock that the big resource collectors and some of the new research stuff. That's worth doing. And then who else? We got a shout out. We got a shout out to Big Red. I think Big Red is our guild leader here. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being in this guild. It's nice to see a good family guild. Some people just play in guilds that don't really talk a lot, and they're just here to do their grind. But this is more of a family guild, and that's a big part to Big Red's participation. So thank you very much. And Peter Quill, #1 capital fighter, keeping it busy on the server, calling guildmates out to help out and take over what's theirs. So there's our 2 shout-outs. And then we're going to finish this on a release and see if there's anything good in guild chat. Did I miss anything in good chat? All right, we'll get him a GG. We'll do our release and check it one more time. Who's coming out of the warp gate? We did an infantry come out with Walker Research. How strange. I feel like it's Kakarot. I feel like since that Jaws meme a couple weeks ago on Meme Review, we're going to start seeing a lot more Kakarot. So let's go with Kakarot. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Bless us with your presence, oh heavenly tooth generator. Ah, it's the kitty! Boo! Boo, Fabian. I actually like Fabian. Double hit gems on Fabian and her defense reduction skill might be really good. All right. That's it. Thanks for watching. CrazyAss, thanks for letting us do this. And remember, if you're not a member of the Line community and you want to sign up for Pimp My Arc, message me in the description below, Melt AOW on the Line app. I will invite you to the channels where you can interact with other players, thousands of other players from around the world. And if you want to be a part of Pimp My Arc, just message me, and I have a little form you could fill out to tell me more about you. So that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.